All right, it's 4 o'clock. Just going to give it a few more minutes for more people to join us. This is the first of a series of workshops that myself and my artists are putting on. So we are just super excited to provide some healing-inspired art activities.
Greetings, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just going to wait 2 more minutes just to give time for folks to come in. I just want to give a quick introduction before we get started. My name is Leo Martinez. I'm the Information Justice Manager at Fathers and Families of San Joaquin. We are a progressive, solution-oriented community organization working on the front lines of racial justice, community healing, trauma-informed care, community reentry, and education equity for the city of Stockton and the surrounding San Joaquin Valley and throughout California. FFSJ provides a socially and culturally relevant human services that help build a foundation for intergenerational healing and leadership. So part of this workshop is funded by the Stockton Arts Commission. So I want to give a big shout outs to them. I want to give a big shout outs to CHI, which is the Community Healing Artist Initiative. And then I want to give a big shout outs to Catalyst for helping us provide the art bags. If you have not received your art bags, I highly recommend that you go and pick them up at the Catalyst. Part of this 6-week workshop series is basically to bring about how we can teach youth primarily how to foster art as something you can use as a tool for healing, right? So we know that art fosters healing to providing an outlet for creative expression and accessing one's inner feelings, right? So part of these workshops is going to be learning how to develop art skills. Anybody is welcome, whether you're a beginner or you're advanced, it doesn't matter. Secondly, basically how to use art as a way to heal. You know, so that's the purpose of these workshops. One thing I want to add before we get started is that if you don't want to be recorded, if you don't want to be part of the recording, I would advise to turn off your cameras, because these are going to be recorded so that, you know, for anybody that missed the workshops, they can go back and access them and, you know, learn from other artists, you know, if they so happen to miss the workshop, right? So with that being said, I'm going to give the mic and camera over to Alicia to have her introduce herself and explain a little bit about what this workshop is going to entail. Take it away, Alicia.
We came up with the idea of combining arts and healing inspired by a garden. So it's called the Brandon Harrison Garden, Memorial Garden. And we want to honor what it is that the arts does for us to overcome what we go through in our daily lives. And so we know this, but how we put it into action as artists is what we want to share with you through a series of workshops. So it's myself, Natalie, Poppy, Angelique, and Davina. And so we work really close together to plan not only these workshops, but some murals. And I'm going to be talking a lot right now. When we go into the activities, I'll just play music and then we'll be able to have fun. And again, like Leo said, this is funded by the Stockton Arts Commission through a grant. And so I really appreciate everyone involved, including the city, Fathers and Families, and they do wonderful work for the community, as well as Catalyst, facilitating the bag exchange, and CHI, which is composed of the artists. We gave ourselves a identity. We love it. So we hope you like it too. So without further ado, I wanted to show you a little bit more of the other artists. So these are pictures of us, and we'll, hi, if there's some shuffling, if you don't mind muting right now, thank you so much. Okay, so some more pictures of us, and I'll pose the question of like, who is an artist? Because like I call myself an artist, you might call yourself an artist, but can we take a moment and like write in the chat a definition, whether it matches what's on the internet or if it comes from your heart. You know, who do you think is an artist? So I'm gonna give you guys a moment to write something up, and I'm gonna stop sharing my screen so I can see what we're doing. I'd love to see your guys' Instagram pages, so don't forget to share what you post online. So the question is, who is an artist? And so if you say it's me, go into detail, like it's someone who makes something from scratch, someone who puts together ideas from the cloud and then it's a physical thing. So I'm reading, Natalie said, no one or someone who turns what they feel into something they can share with others. I like that because it's about sharing. We could be greedy and creative, but is it art if we don't ever show the world? So yeah, I want us to think about that because some people might feel like they're not artists. Well, you are. By my definition, you totally are. So it looks like someone else says, so Jazzy shared, everyone's an artist in their own way because everyone has the capacity to make art and create something from nothing. I love it. The little heart emoji, you know, less than 3. And someone that expresses themselves through art, everyone, yeah, everyone has the potential and the capacity. I love it. So let's move on. I'm gonna share my screen again and get back to this PowerPoint that I put together. So I happen to have the opportunity of being a professional artist. I have a business license, insurance and stuff like that, and I have an art studio. So you can call yourself an artist. You could do art. And there are some people who want to make it official. And you know what? It's all the same. Because if I'm paying bills, but I'm not making art, you know, am I being true to myself? So we have to be gentle. We're all going through a journey, and we can always be more gentle to ourselves because we're our harshest critics. And I'm going to show you some pictures of my art studio that I recently moved out of. And so this was one of the rooms where you could see a hot mess, but it's just the way that I operated. I wanted everything where I could see it, where it was organized. And here's my desk decorated with art by other people, myself. And here's another view. You could see my dog kind of glitching out on the carpet. So yeah, I loved having my own art studio, and right now I'm kind of posted up at home, but hopefully in the future I'll be able to have like a space that I call mine, that no one can tell me, oh, it's messy, you need to clean it up. Like, I don't want to hear that. I'm sure you guys probably hear that too sometimes, because there's a lot of prep and cleanup involved in art for sure. And so moving on with this PowerPoint, I just want to share a little bit about myself. I grew up in Ceres, but I came to Stockton in 2009. I went to school at UOP. I loved it there. It was kind of hard because I didn't live on campus. So I felt kind of like an alien having to drive or take the bus. Took the bus for a year. And but I got my degree in geology. So I have a strong foundation in science. And I love it because I'm still creative. I'm still pulling together ideas. And so here's just a list of some things that are my favorites. Like I like Indian food, and I like action movies, and my favorite season is fall. But my favorite animals are meerkats. So I'm sure you guys can read that later. I included them in the folders that you got in the art bag. So let me just show it to you in case you didn't have an opportunity to go and pick it up. So we have this cute big backpack, actually, a drawstring backpack with our logo. And it included some flyers of your teachers, including myself. And some of the supplies included our chalk pastels, watercolor pencils, some paint, brushes, and I hope we run out, but it seems that we have some more left. So I'll try to get an inventory in case you haven't had a chance yet. And I'll post it on the Chai Facebook page. And what I'm teaching today is drawing, painting, and mural planning, but all with the mindset of how is it healing for me to draw, for you to draw. When we paint, what can we do that makes it an enjoyable experience? And then mural planning is stressful enough having to like make something that has to be approved, is physical, it's probably big, but there's a beauty in it. And so I want to talk about that too during our time together. And yeah, so let's just get started. I want to inspire you real quick. So if you look in your art bag, you'll find a thick pen. It's a ballpoint pen. You look at the point, just like in the picture, it has a ball. And there's just something about this cheap tool and the way that it is so sensitive, you can create so much detail. So I'm just gonna select this link here and go through a series of pictures real quick so you can see the realism that can be attained with this simple, cheap tool. And this is a black ballpoint pen, but a lot of these examples are the blue. And so they're very, very impressive. And you could see some like cross hatching, like the one over here of Natalie Portman, or yeah, it looks like Natalie Portman, the actress. And so you can see varieties in style as well. They're just so fun to go through and look at them all together. So what we're gonna do together is a flamingo drawing. And I picked something that would be fun for all abilities. And I mean, you're welcome to challenge yourself with realism. You're welcome to be expressive. I err on the side of like dreamy, where I mix the realism with things that are more reminiscent of surrealism, like artwork by Salvador Dali or Frida Kahlo. And I think we're gonna enjoy this activity. So if you wanna take a moment and gather these supplies, pencil, pen, and some kind of paper, preferably like a thick kind of paper like Bristol paper, and that may have been included in your folder. The one that I got, I don't happen to have any. It must have been one of my earlier bags that I put together. So I'm gonna show the screen of the flamingo that we're gonna be drawing, and there's different types of views. So I'm just gonna click through and make sure that you guys can see. Okay. So here we have it in color. You have the pink flamingo with a bluish background. So the whole background is blue, which is really nice because you can focus on the bird. And another view is gonna be the grids. So you'll see grid lines that are overlaid on the picture. When I do any kind of portraits or drawings, I look at pictures with the lines so I could see proportions. Like, how many squares is this bird tall? So we're gonna count from like the bottom to the top. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 squares tall, and then about how many squares wide? Looks like 3 squares wide. So that kind of helps visually know how to like lay it out on my paper. And I'm gonna go through another view, and that's kind of an effect that I did with the photo so I could see the outline. And so you play around with pictures to get different views of the same thing, so you can really understand what you're drawing. You really see it. And so there's no shame in having tools. And here's a black and white, so you can see the contrast, exactly how dark the beak is compared to the feathers. Can we pause right now and just take a moment to sort of introduce ourselves? For those who have their screens up, and you guys are so patient and so understanding, I really appreciate you. Go ahead and unmute, and you're going to say your name, your favorite art style, and it could be a craft. It doesn't have to be just fine arts. It could be something crafty. and then pick the next person. So let's pay attention on who's going in order. So I'll go first. I'm Alicia, and my favorite art style is acrylic painting. And I pick Lena. So if you want to unmute yourself, Lena.
Hi, Melina, and the art that I like is what you said, acrylic painting, and I pick Jazzy.
Hi, I'm Jazzy. I think my favorite art style is probably drawing. This is like the thing that comes most naturally to me. And I'll pass it to Star.
My name is Star. Hold on, I'm eating on my bed. My favorite art style, I'll say painting or like calligraphy, like the old English writing and stuff. And I'll pass it to Katie.
Hi, I'm Katie. My favorite, was it like art medium? Probably acrylic. And I'll pass it to Lisa.
Hi, my name's Lisa, and my favorite medium is collaging or mixed media, because I can't make up my mind.
Do you want to pass it on to someone?
Oh, I'm supposed to pick someone. Natalie.
Natalie? Oh no, your audio.
My audio's been messing up. Hi, my name is Natalie. Hi, Lisa. I'm another of the artists of the group, and my favorite medium is probably pencil because I like drawing like comics and characters, and I just like how you can get like different contrasts and stuff like that. Oh, and I'll pass it on to Armani.
Thank you. Hi, my name is Armani, and the kind of art I like to do is like paper mache, or maybe even and I like to scrapbook. So yeah, and I'll pass it to
Angelique, hasn't gone yet.
okay, Angelique.
Oh. Hi, my name is Angelique. I'm one of the other artists from the Healing Garden project, and I'm kind of tied between drawing and painting. I love to draw and I love to paint. I don't know which one I really like more, because my drawing helps my painting and my painting helps my drawing. I'm kind of tied. I don't know which one I like more, honestly. I really, really like both a lot. And then there's my paper mache. And paper mache is number 2. But yeah, I really can't decide which one I like more between my drawing and my painting.
And who do you want to go next? I think maybe Bugs.
You pick. I'm having a hard time. I see a Jazzy. Did Jazzy go?
Yeah, Jazzy did go.
Okay, because I see. Who did not go? Lena go? Lena went? Okay, let me go to my next screen then. Did Katie go? Did Armani go?
On Leo.
Okay. So I think, oh, looks like we have maybe Ruth wants to share.
Okay.
Hi. Okay. So we have people coming in, coming out.
Yeah, because I'm on my phone and I'm only seeing like 4 people at a time. So it's a little hard. Sorry.
It's okay.
Thank
Ruth,
you.
are you able to share, Ruth, or we can move on with the workshop? Okay, so we're gonna move on with the workshop, and what I was gonna get into was a drawing activity with you with the flamingo, and I'm gonna go ahead and use the watercolor pencils that came in the bag. And so if you get your art bag, you'll have a whole set of 12 watercolor pencils, including white and black. And I'm going to look at my screen of the flamingo on my computer, but I'm not gonna screen share it, just so I can pay more attention to the chat, so I can pay more attention to you. If I had another computer, then that might, or dual monitor, but that's not the case. So the flamingo shape, you know, I said there was like so many squares left and right? And I am gonna try to share it with my phone one more time without having that crazy glitch, because it freaked me out a little bit. I got anxious, literally, like my heart started bothering me a little bit with the noise. So I'm so sorry if that bugged you too. But hey, this is all very new, and I think we all have our own things about us, right? That like art healing can address when we're in that mode of I'm freaking out, or I just need to relax. And right now, I'm nervous, and there's so many of you, so I'm so excited too. But once I get my phone set up, because it's really easy, it'll be easier to see the image. And yeah, so in the meanwhile, while I do this, I really want to see how you guys are doing. Like, some of us shared our favorite art medium, but if you want to like check in and say, hey, this is what I'm going through right now with COVID. Not only are some of us, you know, not employed as much as we could, maybe some of our parents are like working extra hard, maybe some of us have gone through some illness. So whatever you want to share, if you can share briefly and just let it come from here. So I hope this is a safe space, and we're all artists. So we're all very well aware of how we feel and how to share those thoughts. But maybe somebody would, you know, feels inspired to share a little bit about how they're feeling right now. So the floor is open.
Can anybody hear me right now? I'm just making sure with my audio. So I'll go first. Hi, my name is Natalie. For those who haven't, for those who have come in late, hi everybody. What I'm going through right now is, since COVID is happening, I can't see any of my friends. So I'm a little bummed and I'm a little sad about that, but I've been trying to make more art and stay busy with my work. And I just started my fall semester and I'm making music and stuff like that. So that's the kind of stuff that's keeping me busy. And I'm playing video games. I just started playing the series God of War with my partner. It's a little graphic, but it's fun. And whoever wants to go next, feel free.
Hi, Jeek.
Hi, Mary.
Okay. So I feel better. Thank you so much for sharing, Natalie. That kind of helps me have a little more confidence, and I'm a little more calm than when I just first started having those technical issues.
Yeah, you're doing good.
Yeah.
This is all new for us.
So,
Yeah.
Jeff,
I'd like to share.
Go ahead, Angelique.
Yeah, for me, the whole COVID thing has led me to learn the whole Zoom thing. You know, I had I'm You know, it's all, I mean, it was something I was getting to anyways. You know, I can do a little on my phone, but I'm having just, my computer is not complying with me. So I'm having a lot of frustration in that regard. And then the whole not being able to see my friends and not do our workshops is the charcoal workshops. Oh my gosh, those were so wonderful. And then having to do that all on my own, all the learning the charcoal portraiture on my own, but just taking what I had learned and then taking it from there. That was extremely difficult. But and then I did learn, having taken from what I had learned and then just watching not so much some of the YouTube videos, but a lot of like Amazon Prime with the master painters and the master it was painters, it was sculptors, and then the documentaries. In doing so, with all this extra time on my hands, not being able to go to the workshops and not being able to not even see my family, you know, did a lot of intensive research. And so I feel like I did something worthwhile. I gained something out of this time. So
Awesome. Yay.
that's something I never would have happened without that, you know.
Okay, so I'm ready to show the my process of making this flamingo. And so if you have a pencil, pick your favorite color. I have pink in front of me. And so now I also made like some marks to know what you can see. And I'm going to share the view of this bird again, but that would be for you guys to follow along with too. And just Zoom is a little tricky with giving me that option. Okay, so you guys should be able to see the bird, and okay, so I'm going to also minimize this. All right, I'm going to look for just general shapes, right? So I'm going to go with the head and go real fast, and I'll fix these details later, but I'm at least gonna do, you know, a general kind of arrangement of the shapes. Now, do not feel bad if you can't do it as quickly as me. It could take you a little bit longer, only because I have been doing art since I was in the 7th grade. And I was very lucky that my school offered art classes from 7th grade all the way through high school. So I was able to take like college level classes by the time I was a senior. And my art teachers were always the most fun, the most accepting of people. So I knew for sure, you know, this was a place where I could feel myself and welcome. And obviously it's a challenge because there's just so much to learn how to do and do it well. So I am going quickly here, just putting in the shape of my bird, using pink so I can make my watercolor painting, or drawing, sorry, this is a drawing, just how I want it. And I'll start with pink, but then I'll move into the black later. So if you are drawing with me, go ahead and just relax and know that this is supposed to be fun. I'm looking at the picture and looking at my drawing to make sure everything is still making sense. I think the way I sketched it out, I made it kind of tall. So on my phone, hopefully it doesn't cut off the feet too much. But yeah, we are rocking and rolling with this drawing. And I think the eyes are probably the most important part of any animal or person drawing, because you can give it life with the eyes mostly. And yeah, So I'm pretty happy with the shape of my my bird, even though his back is kind of bigger than in the picture. I do want to capture there's like wings underneath his sorry, feathers under the wing, and there's definitely like white and pink feathers in different groups. So like there's a lot of pink ones right under this wing, and there's shadows. So like under the wing, there's also a shadow. So I want to kind of draw a line for reference. Once I draw, go ahead.
Hey, Alicia, can we get your screen of your hand instead? So the way that you would do that is you stop sharing the flamingo one, and then I go ahead and pin your other camera view. That way everybody's following.
Yeah, because they can select it, right? Or okay, no, that works.
You can pin it.
Okay, so you guys see my little flamingo? I drew it real fast. I don't have a background. I can always put in grass and trees. So do you guys want to maybe suggest some things in the background or the foreground in the chat? And let me know if you can't see the flamingo. If you want to unmute and let me know. I just want to double check.
Can everyone see the top view? Is it better now, everybody? Okay, cool.
All right, wonderful. You know what, I'm just gonna put like some abstract shapes. So I'm gonna gently sketch out a square and another one kind of over here. I'm going to create some dimension by putting something behind the bird so it's not just floating in white space. And that's something that we artists do to build contrast, is we put something of an opposite color next to it. Like green is the opposite of red. And this is just to make it look like the bird's in front of something. So if you want to just keep that in mind, that your drawings aren't, you know, in a blank world. You have buildings or earth features, or you can add like just shadows that'll make it kind of stand out. So it's a little more where you can concentrate on what's in front of you. And so I'm doing this really sketchy because it's a watercolor pencil, and I can come in with a brush and change the look because it gets darker and the water will move the pigment. And I think I'm done with this green. There's actually a darker green, so I could come in and grab that too. And with a lot of art projects, sometimes they look really until you're at the end. And that's all right, because that's the plan. You have a layout that you're following, and the idea probably has to come in steps, right? So it's not always going to be from left to right, from top to bottom. You're going to be working in layers. And I like that kind of metaphor for life too, because not everything comes right when you expect it. And so you take what you have and it all comes together later. So that helps me kind of ground myself too, is knowing there's just so much that has to get done. I can't control the pace, but I could definitely control how I enjoy it coming together. So it's a little light, right? I didn't want my pink lines to be too strong, because now that I have a good overall of what my picture is, I'm gonna be more mindful and draw a little darker. So the head of this bird is very pink, and it's only pink, I think, because these type of flamingos eat like a pink type of fish that makes them turn pink. It's kind of fascinating. So if I ate too many hot Cheetos, maybe I would turn red if I was a flamingo. That's an idea. So here I am just like quickly sketching. This paper makes it easy to go real fast because it's Bristol paper and it's very smooth. So if you ever get the chance to be able to pick your own art stuff, I highly recommend Bristol paper. And I'm not going to shade in the whole thing right now. I'm just going to do like the outline a little darker in pink. And I'm going to worry about shading afterwards, but I definitely want to get these groups of colors in. And all the fun will be with the water. So this watercolor drawing is going to turn into a watercolor painting. So if you make like a cartoony flamingo, that would also still be really fun. I'm going to do this. And I think the shadow that I'm going to use for the wing is going to be in a different color, not pink, maybe in like a blue. And I'll try to do that afterwards, once I'm done with all this pink stuff. So doing a lot of the wing and having fun with it. I'm like just trusting my hand, and I'm so grateful that I'm like a lefty, because I have some pain in my right hand right now, and that allows me to still draw. So I got to do more stretches in my hands and then exercises, and that's what the doctor ordered. So always stretch your hands. Always take little breaks if you can, and that way you can keep drawing until you're very older in life. I would hate to have to stop drawing because I didn't take care of myself. Now I understand if I had an accident, right? Because I can't really control that exactly, but definitely taking preventative measures when it comes to my health. That's my responsibility. So now that I did this pink, right? Because I'm looking at my drawing, I'm looking at the pink. I need some black for the wings. And I debated whether I should do it afterwards or do it now. I risk mixing the black with the pink and then it looks muddy if I do it now. So I'm gonna just make a decision and go ahead and not use the black. So I'm gonna start painting with this brush with the watercolor pencil marks. So the cool thing is about watercolor pencils is you can have detail before you use water. You could even use the pencil on wet paper, and that makes it really dark. So I'm just kind of bringing in all of this water to smooth it out. And even where I had like a lot of sketchy lines, they disappear and they get kind of smooth. So that's pretty fantastic. I like that effect. And then if I just have fun and I brush it fast, it leaves that fun texture of the bristles of the brush. So there's nothing wrong with like being expressive, especially with this type of drawing. And I welcome you to be very loose with your painting style because it's hard to go backwards. I know a lot of people who can do very, very tight and detailed art, but it's hard for them to be able to do like abstract or very expressive. And I noticed right now there's like a loose hair in here, so I probably should have checked my brush for any loosies. It's okay, I'll try to pick it out later, but it is kind of bothering me right now. Anyway, so I'm still going through. I'm blending my green a little bit on accident, and that's okay. So I'm gonna just come in and do my best not to put the green with the pink, because I think it'll make a brown, and that's not ideal with the picture, and this could dry real fast too. So just having fun with it, and I will I'll show the picture afterwards when I'm done. I think I still have enough time to be able to do like a painting style with you with the paints that were provided in the art bag. But I can also turn this into like a mixed media piece. I heard someone say that they like doing collages earlier and mixed media, and that's my preference too. Using things once they dry, moving on to the next, or if it's all wet, just changing it up as long as it's like water-based. I don't really like to use stinky paints like oil-based. They're kind of traditionally, you need to have good ventilation, and if you're painting in your room, you probably want to use like water-based acrylic paints and not something that'll make you pass out or feel sick. I think they changed a lot of materials from what they used to use in the past, so they're not quite as dangerous. But yeah, I think we can always choose to use whatever we feel comfortable. And I don't know if there's any other like dangerous things about art. Maybe ceramics. If you don't have like good ventilation of the air, you could totally have problems with your lungs from breathing all of that ceramic dust. And those aren't things that you find out until, you know, it's too late. Or your teacher in ceramics tells you, hey, make sure the fan is on and the doors are open, because breathing too much dust can be bad for you. So even art can be dangerous. Who knew? Who knew? So I think I'm done with my pink and my green, right, for now. And I'm ready to dip my black into the water so it can create like a very strong color. I can always use a pen once this dries, but I want to show you how dark it can get. So I'm going to do the beak right now because the paper is still pretty wet, and it's almost like painting it with my pencil. It's so cool. I'm doing my best to make it bold, bold, bold. And I think this beak right here, just not too much, but yeah, super bold. And then the eye is pretty light, so I don't want to add too much black. The wings down here are especially dark. So I'm just going to have to dip my pencil again. And notice how I'm moving my pencil in one direction. I'm going from like top to bottom or right to left. So this is kind of like a muscle memory that I built into my hand over, you know, a long time of drawing. And I'm a lefty, but not everybody is. And it might look a little different for you if you are a righty. So I'm just kind of being a little fluid here. The darker, so now that my pencil's kind of dry, I have to press harder. When it was wet, I didn't. So I think I prefer using this with a wet pencil. So I'm just gonna come in and do all these beautiful feathers. Almost done. Awesome. Okay, so now I can come and get the brush. Kind of smooth it all out. I'll be real careful to stay within my mental lines. And here on the edges, trying to make some like feathery texture. So it's all still very bird-like. And if I bring in my my paints, I wonder if it would just be too much. So to make the shadow under the wing, I don't think I'm going to use black. I might try like a blue. So something I do sometimes is I work on the side, like on the very outside of my margin, and I create like a little palette. I'll put on my paint, I'll put extra pencil, like where it's really soft, and then I'll use that. And so when I'm done with my art, I cut it off and you can't see it anymore. But I'm just trying to make a palette of blue so I can come in with the paintbrush, kind of like making my own watercolor. So here I have like a nice soft blue that I'm going to use for my wing. I'm going to come in here, and building this shadow is really important for making it look like the wing is open. So you can probably catch that in pictures if you look at them closer. Just creating that, you know, idea of space. So this wing is coming out, and I think I have to make it a little sharper. Yeah, so just like that. So I can still come into and define the edge with the blue, just to be real careful. Yeah, I think I like that, and I'll use the blue for like other shadings. Maybe the legs. I hope you guys can see pretty good. And then there's another shadow under this leg. So instead of painting it, I'm going to draw it in, and then I'll get my wet brush and smooth it out in there. So I think maybe all of this has to be blue too. Cool. So yeah, we can always keep spending more and more time on any drawing that we have, but we have to set a limit, right? We got to say, okay, got to move on, got to say that it's done, and because there's so much more to do, right? Can't be drawing forever. That's probably the hardest part, is knowing when to quit, because you could probably overdo it. Hopefully you never encounter where you have to start over because you didn't stop. And I'm almost done. Just got to go back to the eyes, and just gonna add some blue. Okay, now here's the kicker. The eyes are very faint and hard to see, so I'm just gonna make one little black dot in the middle. And they're kind of yellowish, so without wetting this pencil, I'm gonna fill that in. So there's the eye. Maybe I'll make it a little darker. I'll dip the black pencil and fill that in. Okay. So I'm liking where it's at, and maybe just as I did with the blue, I'll create some green watercolor. So by shading really dark, I get a lot of pigment onto the paper, and then I can come in with the brush. And this is going to be the fun part. I'm just going to play with it. So before, when I was making those shapes, now I'm doing something else. I could splatter by putting it against my finger. And just trying not to get it on the beak. But yeah, I'm really liking it. What I could do for my feet, because I ran out of space, is I could put water, like it's standing in the water. The paper is kind of, okay. Can someone tell me if they can see this bottom part with the feet? I won't be able to see this part right now. Okay. I'm just going to come in loosely, kind of shading in. And I don't have a very big brush, but this is the bigger one. And just to come in with this blue, kind of blend it. And maybe with this blue too. Yeah. So I'm pretty happy with how it's looking. It's very expressive, and the flamingo can dry. I'm gonna move it out of my screen, and maybe we can, let's see. Yeah, so what do you guys think? It was kind of fun. If I wanted to make a really bold outline all around the flamingo to make it pop, I could still do that. I love how dark the beak and the black feathers are compared to the rest. So let's just see what happens if I get my ballpoint pen and I create a thin outline all around my brow. And the good thing is it doesn't stop it from working, because maybe some other pens might, get messed up because it's still a little wet. But this is just a design decision, maybe to make it look more like a cartoon drawing. And I really like, oh, see, now my pen's not working. There we go. I really like how quick I made this. And I did a little bit more painting style with this drawing than maybe I expected, but I think that's always okay. So with an outline, this bird looks like it a little bit more cartoony, and I guess I can maybe add that. So yeah, there's my flamingo, and I can always add more to make the background darker, but I think with the green behind the neck, it makes it look like it's in the front. And obviously he's standing in the water. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'm going to move this to dry. Okay, that's going to be a combination of flamingo and abstract. So I'm going to take my right hand and I'm going to grab my brush and I'm going to put red and white paint to make pink. And then I'm going to put my hand on the paper. So if you want to follow along, you could use paint, or you can, let's see, I was going to say chalk pastel, but you don't have pink chalk, unfortunately. But yeah, so I'm just going to grab a little bit of the red, put it in my hand, and I got to open up my white. Oh, paint's going to explode everywhere if I'm not careful. Okay, so I'm never surprised if I end up with paint on me before I go to work. I think my coworkers are used to it when I have like paint on my elbow, on my shoulders, if I'm wearing a short sleeve. It's not good if I'm going into a meeting though. All right, so I'm mixing this in. And it's kind of a dark pink still, so I'll have to grab more white. I do not dip my red stained paintbrush into my white, okay? I don't do that because I want to keep my white clean. So I have to get a white paintbrush and grab that color and put it over here. That's how I can make these paints last longer, is by not mixing them in the container. Now you can mix them wherever you want, like on your hand or on a piece of paper, but don't ever mix it in the container. So just gonna lightly brush on my hand that is hurting, and just gotta do my thumb part. So I do have some napkins on standby, but I like to let things dry and then peel it off like glue. It's weird. I hope I'm not the only one. So just gotta plan where I'm putting it, and it's gonna be here. All right, now that didn't leave as much color as I wanted. So what I'm gonna do is kind of bring the pink by mixing white and red inside. All right, cool. So that's a nice color. And if I recall, this type of bird has like a S-shaped neck. And I have to look at the picture one more time because I don't have it memorized. And that's totally okay. This is totally spur of the moment. I kind of am going off of a design I saw another artist do, but really it's just looking like a turkey. I'm pretty sure if I do the beak right, it won't look like a turkey anymore. So if you have, if you want to make something for Thanksgiving, you could paint your hand and make a real turkey, or make sure you make the beak look like another type of bird so it doesn't look like a turkey. Maybe a chicken. Those are all year round, because who doesn't love chickens and eggs? This dries pretty quick. I should have like rinsed these brushes before using them because there's a lot of little hairs, pelitos in here. So we'll have to make do. But I only have 2 brushes too, so I have to wash them if I'm going to change the color. And I think I'm ready to use black. So if I remember correctly, there was black on the tip of the beak, and it was pretty sharp beak line. So this paint is pretty translucent, which means it's not really dark, and you have to use a lot of it to make it look. But I'm able to make some pretty fine lines with these brushes, and it just depends on how I load the brush. That's how I describe filling it up with the paint. And I'm gonna be careful not to make the eyes too big, but I remember there was like that little dot. And what I could do is fix it with adding some white, because it's a little too pink around the dot. So this is gonna be real hard for me. Okay, there we go. And that kind of covered it up. It looks different on the screen. Actually, it looks better on the screen, but I want this to be like an actual circle. If I mix that too much, then it goes gray, so I have to be careful. Okay, that's good. And this is how I'm creating my little shape. So anybody can do this. Just pink hand, create the beak, and maybe create some legs. So this one's gonna be, you gotta add the leg part, and then the long skinny legs. They have ankles, so it kind of look like it's swollen right here in the leg a little bit. And I can come back in with some pink. My hand is like pretty dry now, so I can't use that paint anymore. I'd have to mix some more. But I'm just gonna bring in the other leg. And it's gonna be, maybe, I'm gonna make it kick the leg out. So I'm just imagining he's dancing a little bit, and he's gonna be doing that thing that the flamingos do with their legs when they stand on it. I don't know what their toes look like, but I'm just gonna imagine maybe they look kind of like chicken toes. So they have like a toe in the back and then some toes in the front. So it looks kind of weird. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give it some high heels. I'm gonna imagine a shoe on this flamingo, and I'm gonna fix the back so it looks like a high heel. And now it looks kind of funny because birds aren't supposed to wear high heels, but this one does. And yeah, so this one's wearing high heels. You know, we make creative decisions when things happen, and it's okay. So this one's gonna be wearing another high heel to match, and it's gonna be like on a point because it's a ballerina flamingo. So we're gonna do this. That was pretty funny. I think I'm gonna bring in my pink watercolor pencil, and I'm going to shade the leg part. And it's a different kind of pink, but it's kind of hard for you to tell. Okay, so I'm adding some pink there. And maybe I'll like add some lines like this, just for like expressiveness. And that gave me an idea. I am gonna make more pink in my hand so I could splatter. And splattering is always super fun. You just gotta have enough space to do it so you're not making like a ginormous mess. So here I'm gonna grab this paint Be real careful. All right, so because it's super thick and I made this kind of light, I'm gonna come in and add more water to the brush and add more water to the paint because I want it to be able to splatter pretty good. Otherwise, it's never gonna leave the brush. So I have to twist it and last bit. Okay, cool. So I think this type of paint, you could lift it by wetting it again, but I'm not in need of so much. So I'm gonna use my finger and kind of like hit it to create these splatters. So just a bunch of different times. It's kind of hard to see right now until I build up more paint, but I see I'm making a huge mess on my table already and on my computer. And I might change up the color. So I'm going to create some purple by adding blue. And blue is very strong. You do not need much in order to create a purple. So it's a very nice color. I have to add some water so that it can splatter pretty good. And the closer I am to the painting, I think the bigger the splatters are. So this is pretty fun. I think I'm gonna do this again with like different animals. So not just the flamingo, but I could try like the turkey or the chicken idea. And this is washable, non-toxic paint. So my mom's not gonna yell at me when she comes home. She's gonna see me doing this later and just giving me eyes like, you better not mess up my my dining table. Okay, so I'm done.
I'm done.
You're done? Does anyone want to show me their art?
I'm kind of ready.
It looks so good. I love it. You even gave it the shoes. Perfect.
If anybody wants to share their artwork,
Okay, now I'm ready.
feel free to share your
Nice.
artwork. You can upload it online as well and tag us so that we can showcase your beautiful art.
I think Kamea is holding up her screen and it looks so wonderful.
Yeah, really nice.
And I see the hair. It's so elegant with the swirls.
I love it.
Let's look at Eric's. Let's look at Eric's. Look at Eric's.
Eric, yeah, really nice.
Eric made 2 drawings. Oh, wow. Okay,
With the
I see
hand.
what you're doing. Yeah. Is that red or pink, Eric? I wonder what color that is because it looks so good.
Red.
Oh, you used red. Wonderful.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, that's so cool, you guys. You did so great. Oh, I'm so inspired. Okay, so
Angelique's showing hers.
I did too.
oh, she is. Oh, yours is nice too. I like the brown that you used on the nose.
Yeah. I just grabbed my box of pencils, my pencil crayon highlighter box.
Nice. Same. I also used my own pens.
Yeah. The yeah, and I was
Well,
looking at it, and I was like, you're right. They are
drawing
Crayola.
again. Daddy.
It's funny. I was like, a lot of them are Crayola. There's like Crayola and a few Prisma in there. But like, you know, like my favorite like writing pens and all the goodies.
So I'm
Yeah.
cleaning up my hand now, and it feels pretty good.
That's a pretty neat trick. That would be a fun workshop to do in person with that too. I like that. I want to do another bird.
Right? You can.
I
Wait,
don't
when
think
are
it's
we
enough.
gonna do all this painting again?
So I don't think I want to talk about murals so much. I think
No. Yeah.
I would like
Woohoo!
Now it's all about birds for your class.
Yeah. So maybe in the future we can
I
do
love
this.
this class so much.
Yeah, that's a fun class.
So maybe in the future we could do it again with me, but next week Natalie is going to be the artist.
Yeah, next week we're gonna be doing faces. We're gonna be drawing ourselves.
So make sure to sign up for next week. It's going to be Natalie, September 1st. It's going to be a Tuesday at 4 p.m. I will be sending out the Zoom link the day of, or maybe the day before, so that everybody gets prepped up. So yeah, just make sure to pick up your art bags and make sure that you're signed up so that we can get you those art bags.
Okay.
Yeah. And
And then my class is a little later on in the month, and I'm going to be doing forest,
Nice.
awesome.
like
Well,
a
I think-
landscape.
I think this, oh, what do you mean a landscape? Like mountains and grass, or?
Like a forest,
That's truly
like a
healing.
watercolor forest with animals.
Brother, stop.
So with you learning this with the drawing and the animals and everything, that's going to help a lot later on when we could do my class, we do the forest, so then we could do little animals in the forest.
Nice. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
So thank you everybody for joining us. We're going to be ending the class now, and please enjoy your art supplies. Make projects. Like if you run out, let us know and you can get another art bag, but that's a lot of paint, a lot of chalk, and you can make a bunch of drawings. Just find enough paper and have at it. So you're welcome to use it.
Bye.
So, bye guys. Until next time.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later. See you next week.
See you guys. Bye.